Good morning. I'm Gloria J with Action Speaks, and I'm here to continue our readings of research, studies, and history on the gifted. We are specifically targeting gifted Black America or African Americans. They won't teach me the voices of gifted African American inner city students when who I am impacts how I am represented, addressing minority student issues in different contexts. Author Deborah Harmon. Geographical Code 1 USA. Date of publication January 1st, 2002. Publication Roper Review. ISSN number 02783193. We shall continue on with resources. Every student interviewed agreed that the resources at Tacoma was not as abundant as the resources at Rocky Creek. Tacoma's building was smaller and older. Students commented that the building was not as clean as Rocky Creek's building. The library was small and was stocked with many outdated books. Jamal was the only student who felt that Tacoma's resources were just as good as Rocky Creek's resources. The classrooms are pretty small, but it's not what you see on the outside. It's what's on the inside. Like the classrooms may be small, but good things come in small packages. Like you can have good friends in small classrooms. Jamal acknowledged that Rocky Creek's resources were superior to the resources at Tacoma, but felt that the superior resources at Rocky Creek could not compare to what he found at Tacoma. Tacoma had students and teachers who cared, accepted, and supported minority students. Tacoma provided a safe environment where all students could learn. In this study, the students perceived Rocky Creek as a rich school. The school was large, very clean, and well kept. Books, materials, and computers were considered to be much better than those at Tacoma. Classrooms were able to participate in many field trips. Lessons learned. Each of the students in the study felt that while their experience with desegregation was painful and even traumatic, they gained important knowledge concerning interactions with white people, which they might not have learned otherwise. Responding to the question of how these experiences affected him, Jamal closed his eyes for a moment, looked up, and said, "I realized that white people are afraid of what they don't know. Now I know to not expect all these white people to know things." One important lesson Lamont learned from his experience with busing and returning to his neighborhood was that all white people are not the same, that everything's not all bad. Students agreed that even though they believed that many white people were prejudiced and would treat them unfairly, they also believed that some white people were not prejudiced and would treat them with respect and show genuine concern for them. Program choice. Even though all of the 5th grade students qualified for highly academic magnet programs designed for high achieving and gifted students, all of them refused to attend these programs. When asked to discuss their reasons for not participating, they admitted that although the magnet programs provided the academic challenge they were seeking, they were concerned about the kind of teachers, the lack of an inclusive curriculum, and teaching methods they believed a predominantly white education program provided. They gave me a tour of the magnet program, and I went, and everybody was really nice there. Well, it's like a pleasant environment, but I just don't feel comfortable around a lot of white people. Charles, 5th grader. They, teachers, claimed that it was top-notch teaching and everything like that for the white kids, of course, but not for us. Jamal, 5th grader. Teacher responses. 3 teachers from Tacoma Elementary School were interviewed about their experiences with resegregation of students from Rocky Creek Elementary School. They were also asked to describe their education philosophies, classroom management strategies, and classroom curriculum. Observations of teachers and their interactions with students were made throughout the course of one full school year. Education philosophy. All 3 teachers were motivated to teach inner-city minority populations because of their concerns about the failure of education in serving underprivileged students, and believed education was one of the urgent needs within the African American community. I was looking into the future. How are they going to be when they graduate from high school and when they interview for college? I was looking at the long term, and I wanted them to have some kind of basics or beginning. Miss Oliver, 3rd and 4th grade. You know, because I think just coming from where we came from, what we had to go through in school, I think all of us here, we're pretty tough on them. Yeah, because we know how hard it is out there. We want them to know that your education is important. Miss Cunningham, 4th and 5th grade. I think it's hard for 2 communities totally opposite and not necessarily different, just in terms of black and white. Some of the white students appeared to be the brightest because they did have more experiences and that they brought. You know, when you've been to the library, when you've been read a lot of books, it does a lot. Miss Piper, 4th and 5th grade. The effective teachers created classroom environments that did not tolerate any form of prejudice. Miss Cunningham's class was peaceful. She said that she would send any student that she found calling racially derogatory names to the office. Lamont, 4th grader. They looked upon the cultural differences of these gifted African American students as cultural assets instead of cultural deficits. Once you see past that shell that they had on the outside and you get to the core, they're bright. They were intelligent kids. I wanted to see them with someone who would stay on them and expect that from them, demand it from them. That's what they needed. That was the biggest part of their problem. Miss Oliver, 3rd and 4th grade. Teachers attempted to teach students more positive social skills and provided a safe, disciplined classroom environment with high expectations for behavior and academic performance. My philosophy is that school is not just coming and getting academics, but it is also etiquette, manners, effective learning. I mean, it all ties into their learning. I thought to myself, I could give them all of the tools, all the academics that they needed, but if they don't have their essential skills that they need, it is not going to do them any good. And they need to learn it now. Miss Oliver, 3rd and 4th grade. She, Miss Oliver, 3rd and 4th grade, just really kept me where I was disciplined. If I did something wrong, she would let me know that I did something wrong and that I should not do whatever I did the next time. Charles, 5th grader. She wants us to do our best. She knows if we've done our best, because she knows our quality work and how we work and stuff. If we don't do our best, she will have us come in at lunch and do it again, because she knows that we can do better than that. Stephen, 5th grader. Curriculum and instruction. The education philosophies of the teachers, as well as their instructional methods, provided an effective, affirming, multicultural curriculum utilizing differentiation and critical thinking skills. Multiculturalism is a part of every lesson I teach. It doesn't matter what the subject is. I always bring out what contributions African Americans, Hispanics, or whatever have made towards it. Ms. Cunningham, 4th and 5th grade. I don't believe in just learning about Black history in February. We need to learn about the contributions of blacks and everybody else throughout the year. Ms. Oliver, 3rd and 4th grade. I would work with students in small groups or individually. I would sit them at the round table, or we would get on the floor, and I would work with them until they got it. I would let them go up to the board and work out problems so they could see that they could do it. With the gifted students, I gave more advanced work. Some of them had independent studies, or I allowed them to move ahead into the next lessons. Miss Oliver, 3rd and 4th grade. Members from their community were invited in the schools as role models and mentors, and students were encouraged and provided with opportunities to participate in their community. I gave them a lot of role models. I tried to bring in as many young African American professional people as possible, because I think that it's important for them to see that someone who is just like them is successful. Miss Oliver, 3rd and 4th grade. In addition, observations and interviews were identified effective teachers indicated the use of direct instruction, flexible ability grouping, cooperative learning, differentiation of curriculum, instruction and evaluation, and authentic problem solving. All of the teachers provided the students with the multicultural curriculum with multicultural materials. One of the most influential activities the teachers provided for their students was discussing their concerns. All of the teachers would take time to discuss current events with the students, encouraging them to share their feelings Often the topics dealt with prejudice and racism, and Miss Oliver, Miss Piper, and Miss Cunningham would take these opportunities to prepare their students for the realities of being an African American in a predominantly white society. That's all we're going to read today for this session, but we do have more to read on this study, so please prepare to hear more about giftedness. And this research, studies, and history of the gifted will authenticate my new publication, Every Child Born Gifted. May God bless you. I'm Gloria J. Have a beautiful day.